Welcome everybody. Glad to have you guys all back with me. Nice little short break, drive across the country. I'm on the East Coast now, so it's nice to be able to not have to wake up at the crack of dawn to see the open of the market. I've actually been up for, a couple hours now, already worked out, already got some things done, and we'll be the market still doesn't open for about another 30 minutes or so. So we've got plenty of time today to let some trades come our way. Just trying some new layouts. We got the tick up here, the advanced decline, the vold, and this lower right box will just be kind of our switching box. I've got the triple Q up there right now, correlated to the Nasdaq. Um, but if we really don't like this and you guys want to see trading view up here with Bitcoin or some crypto, just shoot me a message and I got no problem changing it. Pretty easy. Pretty easy click of the button. Let me go ahead and post this in the Discord real quick. So you can see the market's just coming down here a little bit. Oh, no problem, Michael. Crypto Mojo, what's up, man? Yeah, glad to see you too, man. Thank you. Kevin said he felt like Jordan playing Kobe for the first time. Yeah, that gambling mindset will get you for sure. Get that out. Not really seeing a ton of volume come in here on this push down. We got 15 contracts trade on that low. And then if you guys were wondering, I'm kind of just ignoring some of this junk like the holiday, this day, this day here. Right. There's just been, there's been so many just random holidays. The market just kind of looks like a mess, really. But we should get some clarity this week, especially with the FOMC minutes coming out tomorrow, and then Powell will be on Thursday. I guess today's Tuesday already. So Powell will be on Wednesday. There'll be a lot of Fed members on tomorrow as well, with the minutes coming out. And then remember, what we'll do is when the minutes come out, we'll mark the level, look for the reaction, and then the same idea again the following day. Just to give you guys a little heads up of what we're looking at if you are looking at this for the first time or seem to be a little bit confused because we have changed the layout a little bit. These settings are high quality. They are all right. So this is the tick. This is just telling us upticks versus downticks, advanced decline ADD, and this is on the S&P. This is going stocks going up versus going down. Vold is very similar. It's just up versus down. You see this, I guess we call it turquoise line, is basically just a 20 moving average, and it just makes it easier because these it's just hard to kind of zoom in, so it just makes it easier to see if our line is above or below, right, and how it's kind of acting and which way it seems to be going, right, just to keep us in the right direction of the trend, right? That's the key here, is just to be on the right side for the most part, or as much as possible. A lot of times in my experience, if you can be on the right side of the trend or go with the trend, you'll typically have a lot more success and a lot less pain than you would if you just try to pick the direction every time. Right, a lot of people like to call tops and bottoms. It's not really what I'm all about. I'm all about just, being patient, letting it come to us, and, going with it. Listen to some really good books. Um, One of the books I read with my ears recently was this book called Fooling Houdini. And it's kind of about magic, but not really. It's more of a psychology book, but it's a really interesting book. And just makes you really think about things from a different perspective, and that's always what I'm trying to gain, as the great Jim Dalton says, right? Always maintain perspective. And so anything that I can do to help me maintain perspective and not get me in that tunnel vision or get me hyper focused is going to be key for me to, continue my success and hopefully be able to help you guys be successful as well. You could see pretty much overnight inventory for the most part um, was long early on. Oh, damn. Uh, was long early on. It kind of opened up, popped up, hung out for a little bit, and then has since been just liquidating. Tried to pause, back inside range, but has since came back down to that Friday's value and looks to be catching a little bit of a bid down here. I do like this area down here, as I think that this could be an area that buyers might try to step up, and then we'll probably see some reactive sellers up here towards that spike. Is the TradeVets website still a thing? Keep getting DNS errors? I don't know. Let me see. Trade- might not be. Yeah, it says it's not. I don't know. I don't run that. Website doesn't really do anything anyways, JL. We just kind of just run everything in the Discord. But what were you looking for on there? Oh, the trade room. Just shoot me a DM on Discord, JL. But I mean, I do everything that we do in the trade room. We do right here. It's just in the trade room, you'll have the ability to converse with your mouth and not your fingers. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just merge this one with there. That way, just out of the way. Just makes it look a little bit cleaner. The volume's there, but that day was pretty much a BS day, holiday. Everything's free, jail. I decided that, like the monthly fee and stuff is just, it puts me at a spot where I am, like almost obligated to be on every day. And then I'm just like, some days you just don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Some days you're just like, meh, not into it. Let me search. Well, that's weird. Surprised you don't have access to it. Yeah, you should have. There we go. You should be good now, JL. Oh, young cryptic. What's up, my man? Folks trying to get MetaTrader 5 working. Yeah, things old and shitty. You guys should see the size of my in-laws' dog. They have this German Shepherd, but it's like 125 pounds, like a wolf, basically. It's a monster. Super friendly though. Loves the kids. Good news, we found a house, so we should, if everything goes well, keep your fingers crossed. Knock on wood, if you're a believer in that. Should be getting in there around August 12th, so that will be nice. Not too far away from the in-laws, which is also nice. Be able to swoop over here and go swimming with the kids and stuff. Some people, I mean, I guess probably wouldn't enjoy or would be kind of adverse to staying with their in-laws, but for me, my in-laws are fucking awesome. So I'm G to G. Let's take a look at this real quick. I forgot to finish off. We talked about Vance Klein, talked about the Vold. So we have the tick here that's just telling us upticks versus downticks. We see these green triangles on the top, and that's just telling us that our bar finished above the zero tick, red below the zero. This down here is our weighted advanced decline. What's up, pal?
Can you switch this one with that one? Because this.
Oh, okay. Guys, what's up? Jump the game. You're gonna have to start all over.
Oh. But this will save it.
Yeah. And so this, you see our light gray line up here, or whatever color this is our unweighted sector, and then the bottom line is our weighted sector, right? And I just have it in dots because it's just easier for me to see personally. And then up here we see all of our sectors, right? The 11 sectors that are in the S&P. This is the breadth, right? 3 to 1 on the NYSE, 2 to 1 on the NASDAQ, and then down here will just be our friendly chart. I am on the Northeast Crypto Mojo in PA, Scranton. Good old home of the office. Me and Michael Scott were out at Poor Richard's last night, just hanging. I'm just kidding. That'd be cool though. It looks like a lot of volumes all of a sudden coming in down here on this low. So if the market gets back above that 80, you'll probably look for it to cover up to 85, and then there's another weak spot up there at the 90 where we saw that liquidation earlier. But remember, it's Glovex. Market still doesn't open for a little while, so good. Right. We got about a half hour, I think, till the market opens. Amish country, that's what everyone says, but I don't see any Amish people at all. I see a bunch of old people. My father-in-law got me this sweet L desk. It's like this big ass L desk for one of the rooms in his house downstairs. It's pretty sick. Young Cryptic, I actually did take a trade because it's a little bit easier to trade crypto from my phone than it is from than trade like the ES or anything like that. I did take a trade about a week ago from about a little bit under 20K long and caught a decent move, but I haven't even looked at crypto today to be honest. Let me pull up. Let's pull up some crypto and see what we're checking. Back at was this 19,377. Get some levels going here too. What the fuck is the deal with this thing? This thing all why they're not dark? I ruined my whole flow. Anybody know how to change it back to dark color thing? There we go. All right, now we're in business. But yeah, I don't know. So the way that I'm looking at crypto is if we take a peek on bigger scale, let's look at this daily on Bitcoin. I still am looking to see if this is going to be, kind of where people are going to draw a stand. We can see, how much volume is down here, but there's still space really down here till about, I think like 16,000. So anywhere this 20,000 to 16,000, um, it seems like it makes sense to me for them to try to push or test that level down there. I'm just with everything going on geopolitically, the geopolitical issues and all the well, really just winter is coming, you know what I mean? Like not necessarily so much for people in America, but for people in Europe. Um and I don't mean like, they're going to get taken over and shit like that. It's just I'm thinking that the gas prices are going to start getting crazy and you got to think about this on a bigger scale, right? Gas prices are going crazy or they're going up. Um, so people, they might start, using less gas or trying to find alternate sources of energy. Of course, if create a water powered engine, you might get killed by the FBI, conspiracy theory much, but also you got to think bigger scale, like about the farmers, right? The farmers use a lot of fuel to power all these tractors to take care of all this stuff. If you think about a lot of these farms, a lot of the work is done by a small amount of people. A lot of these farmers run these farms, mostly by themselves with their tractors, couple field hands and stuff like that. But it's a tough go over there in Europe if you get a lot of people that are a lot of farmers that are, maybe just barely making it, and these gas prices are just, could possibly shut them out of business. So I don't know. I'm not really gonna be a huge bag filler of crypto until we start to see some stability in the market. Which brings me to my next theory, I guess. And so if we take a peek at the ES, right, we're entering into the summer. Let's look at this one. Um, as we come back into summertime, you can assume, most, not most, or a lot of people are probably on, summer break. They're on the Hamptons, or, all these people, all these traders, all these big hedge funds have pretty much done what they wanted to do. So we know that the market really can't go down unless there's enough supply. And so I'm kind of thinking with us coming into earnings coming up here pretty soon, the FOMC minutes, we'll see if we get a little bit of a break from Powell and he doesn't do a 3/4 point raise. And then again, like I said, I haven't really been on the news that much when it comes to uh, the monetary policies and stuff. So I'm definitely going to be having to catch up now that I'm back and stationary. But if things start to ease a bit, then we could start to see. I'm not saying the market's going to just rip up, to the all-time highs, but we may just see a little bit less selling because there's just not there. It's like nobody's home. They're like, hey, you want to sell here? Be like, want to sell here? Meh. Right? I think a lot of these hedge funds are probably, they're probably short, or a lot of, big institutional money is probably short, but they're probably hedged for vacation, right? And it's the first week in July. We just had July 4th. That's probably the week, that's probably when vacation started. And, I kind of think that we'll get kind of, I almost think that this range here will probably be set. I mean, maybe to the low side we might break it, but I think that for the most part, July is probably going to stay within the range of June unless we get some crazy news or something like that that really starts to propel the market to the upside. But other than that, I don't really see too much as far as volatility, and that'll bring, that'll be something that you have to start to incorporate into your trade plan as we start to head forward. You're not going to have these huge, well, I mean, I don't want to say not going to, but oftentimes during the summer the ranges start to diminish a little bit and we're not having these, huge 200-point ranges and things like that. So, just be prepared for something like that. Just, if you've been going for 5-point trades all the time and summertime's coming and we get a 30-point range for the day, just don't be surprised, right? Got to prepare for that. It's been a lot of people that just started trading here, recently, especially since COVID, have been kind of almost like a blessing and a curse because they're so used to quick gains when a lot of times it's just not how it works. Slow and steady. That's been has been my go-to for a long time now. How are you guys doing? I've been seeing a lot of trade plans, a lot of trade performance, right? Which is telling me that you guys are keeping track of everything and planning everything. So, that's really cool to see. Like I always say, you don't want to trade if you don't have a plan, and if you don't document your trades, then, how can you ever expect to improve? So, it's really cool to see everyone jumping on board with that. Even though I know, it's such a hassle, nothing's worse than having to document a losing trade. And then in a winning trade, you don't want to document anyways because you're so happy you won. So it just becomes a chore back and forth. But you know, those are the things that are necessary. There's a 400 lot order sitting on the 8150 right here. What time is it? We got about 10 minutes until the market opens. So let's go ahead and take a peek around the corner. We've got the ES trading down about 1.25%. Nasdaq's matching, YM, the Dow matching, the Russell's down about 1.5. We got bonds up about 0.6, gold's down 0.3, oil's getting a little smackarooski down 3%. Bitcoin's barely up. We can see the VIX elevated but below 30. Still super high. I know it's almost becoming the norm. People are like, "Oh, it's below 30. It's not bad." It's like, Jesus Christ. Remember when we get the VIX at around 32, we're looking at about, possible 2% move. So you figure you do the math, 2% from here, this could definitely be a pretty decent move, right? It's still in the cards. We don't want to rule it out. We can see the dollar's not doing too bad. These will update once the market opens. The TLT. Take a peek at TLT. TLT is catching a little bit of a bid this morning as well, too. So back to the triple Q. If you're wondering what these lines are, right? These are those gamma level lines, basically just letting us know where, almost like automated support and resistance lines, but based off of puts and calls, calls being bought and puts being sold for the most part. Back in your trading stuff. Took a little time off. Everything I've been doing, came back to it last week and had a total of 10-point gain on the live. Hell yeah, good stuff, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of good P&Ls lately. Everyone's been digging in and getting it done. I would say overnight inventory is a little bit short here. I know we got a lot of volume right off the top, not a lot of volume the rest of it, the rest of the night. We had about 190,000 volume about 4 hours in, and then pretty much just slowly liquidated for the rest of the night. So we'll see what they give us here on the open. We've got about what was that, 7 minutes. Uh, Buyers are going to be looking to reclaim this 85, hold the 85, and then they'll be testing up above that. I'd say they'd be looking for that 3,800, to be honest. It's pretty weak up there through these single prints from Globex. And then to the low side, these sellers, if we get some supply coming in this morning, they're going to be looking to test that excess from Friday. If your TPO is looking a little bit different, remember, I just smashed our holiday day into Friday's range just to make the chart look a little bit cleaner. I don't really take any levels from that range anyways because it's just, a BS day. So no real weight put on that for me, at least. Yeah, 90 is the weak spot up there. Above 90, you can start to see the market move to the upside and probably back up to that 3,800. But the first level will be 85. 85 will be the first level. These buyers will need to recapture if they want to get anything going. And it's crazy being on the East Coast, just having so much more time, so much more time to just get stuff done, so much more time to just do what I want to do, much more time to evaluate the market instead of just, having to wake up at 5, power coffee because I'm dead tired and try to figure out where everything's going to be going down. Now, I've been up for a while. My thoughts on Bitcoin? My thoughts on Bitcoin are basically that it's, really, I think Bitcoin's not really going to see much movement until tomorrow when we get those FOMC minutes. I did see a news article saying that there was some bigger size bank that was what was it? Some bigger size bank that was looking into Bitcoin mining. I don't know. I felt like when I read it, I'm like, fucking too little, too late, my man. But we'll kind of see as oh Jesus Christ, I almost burst my eardrums. Oh yeah, Buzz. Yeah. Um yeah, thanks, man. The house is going good. Hopefully we'll be getting into our new house on August 12th, so still about a month. So I'm at my in-laws right now. Luckily I got some nice in-laws, let me set up my stuff and let me continue my stream. Um, and, but yeah, it's not bad. I didn't have to move anything, right? I moved a couple things, right? Brought my screen. RIP to my widescreen. It fucking broke in transit. Got a pressure crack in it. Unfortunately, but everything else is good. The army is moving most of my stuff because it's a retirement move. So they came into the house and packed up everything. And then they'll ship it. It's I have like a basically like a tracking number saying that it gets to Pennsylvania, and then they'll store it for up to 180 days until I find a place, and then they'll come unpack it and deliver all that crap. So bad. If I was gonna have to move all that stuff myself, I probably would just left it all there and bought new stuff. To be honest with you, I'm not a big truck driver, so like if I had to drive like a huge U-Haul or something like that, just I don't know, unless they make a new one that what's it called, like cameras and stuff. Because if not, I'll probably crash that shit. I've driven a car like my whole life. I drove big trucks in the army, but like most of the time in the army, like when you're in something like that, you can just run stuff over, and everyone's like, well, who cares? Yeah, yeah, Tommy, I was pretty sad about that. All right, I'll just have to get another one. I'll have to get, actually, I'll have to get two. Yes. I mean, a backup. And what's funny is I'm sitting in a recliner, which is kind of nice, to be honest. I'm comfy as all heck. Three backup for the backup. That's right, Tommy. That's a good idea. Yeah, I don't need three. You can never be too careful. Yeah, Buzz, I can't complain with that at all. Yeah. What was weird? I mean, not that I don't know if anyone has any experience with it, but like, so normally when the army moves you, they come and they like, break down all your shit and they box it up and they ship it and then they set it back up. They wouldn't break down any of my stuff. I had to break everything down myself. Not that I'm complaining about it. It was just like, simple things like they're like, oh, we need you to break down your squat rack. And I'm like, it's fucking, it's just a ratchet. Like, what? But, it was just, I don't know. I guess maybe different. That was the first time I ever moved from California. So here we go. Got the open. Looks like the market's catching a little bit of a bid off the open, coming back down to that Globex low. See if they want to peak below Globex low. Remember, if the market doesn't get back below this Globex low, just be patient getting on that short side, okay? If there's some supply, they definitely take that Globex low. There they go. Okay. Curtis, what's that say? What? Okay. You fixed it? Okay, thanks. Market coming down a little bit here. A little bit of short covering there. What's also nice too is that I'll be able to post the trade view in the mornings now. So 63, this is the low end of my range. I had a bigger range this morning, like from about 80 something to about 63. I was looking for them to bounce off this 63 or buyers to show up around this area. So let's see if these buyers want to jump in and be active, or if trying to get some more selling. Starting to get a little bit thin down here. No real short covering though, if people are still moving down to sell. 44 contracts traded on the low. Little bit of absorption there, some buying stepping up. See where the tick opened up, right? Opened up way lower. We can see this thing. That advance decline. Most of our sectors are red except for consumer staples, and we're starting to see triple Q come down almost about 2% now, with almost about 2% down right here. Brussels down 2%, Nasdaq's about 1.8. The oil's getting smashed a little bit. Bounce right there. I'd like to see these buyers show up in this area. 60. Take a peek at dollar. Dollar's looking real strong here, breaking out to the upside. Downside coming. There they go. 8 contracts on the low, 13 contracts on the low. A little bit of short covering there. Pretty volatile this morning, right? Bouncing around a little bit down here. Let's see this. So they weren't able to hold that 63. That target's going to be that 53.50 here, down to about that 48. If they're able to break that 53, right? If they can't get past that previous day's low, might take us back up. I'm not in a position right now, just kind of waiting to see. Like I said, I like this 63 level, but just kind of waiting to see what they're going to do. I'd like to see the market hold above it. You know, there's a weak spot up here around the 69.70 level. If we can hold this 63, I think that's where the next target will be, that 70 to 73 level. We keep hanging out down here and no buyers start to respond down here, then we start to get into that excess from Friday and Thursday, and you'll be looking to see if they're going to push it back down there and see if buyers are going to be active. See, that tick is still way below 1,000, so we're still getting a lot of selling. Look at the breadth, 26 to 1 on the NYSC. 26 to 1. Holy moly. Apple's down almost 1%. Google's down 1.5%, or Google's down 2.5%. Microsoft down 1.5%. Tesla's down 3.5%, almost 4%. Amazon's almost 2.5%. So we're getting some selling in the bigger sectors. So you can see some buying coming in here, though. Look at the tick. Not that I'm saying to buy, right? We don't want to just be getting long just because the tick is going up, but just be, just be aware that there may be some buyers trying to absorb. How much they're going to be able to, is unknown. Tick back below 1,000. Look at the dollar still too. Still heading up. About 30-point range so far. If they can get that low, a little responsive buying off the previous day's low. Still getting smashed here. I did hear something about some big hedge funds like almost getting together to short Tether or try to bring Tether down. I don't know if any of you guys have heard anything like that. Did Curtis eat breakfast? Curtis, come here. Did you eat breakfast? Go. Breaks the previous day's low. Little pop here. Hi, Kenneth, John, Hero. Signal, please. What do you mean, Kenneth? Signal what? Yeah, we don't do, I don't know if you're looking for like a signal to go long or short. That's not really kind of what we do here. I'm actually like really against stuff like that, to be honest with you. All about teaching people how to fish, not catching fish for them. Look on the box, Curtis. 44 then. Amen. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. Being there, flood traders, how does the CME market makers operate? You mean floor traders, Martin? Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Right. And the way that we look at it here too is, we're not even looking to capture every fish in the lake. We just want to capture enough fish so we're not starving. We got a full belly and get some good sleep, enough protein to exercise. So being that the floor traders, the market makers are kind of just basically just, kind of using that to their advantage. The floor is not as active as it used to be just because of electronic trading and stuff, right? There used to be a lot more opportunity, or a lot less opportunity, I guess I should say, as an electronic trader, someone like myself, compared to being on the floor because of the actual volume and, being able to hear what's going on in the market is such an advantage. Um, but, the market makers are really just, taking the difference between the bid and the ask. That's really all they're looking to do. They don't really care about, catching a long move or catching this big rally. They're really just looking to, you know, catch a couple bucks. So with the ES, you think about the market makers as their their only goal is to fill orders, right? They're not really looking to you know, like I said, they're not like, okay, this is a good spot to get long, let me get long. They're looking to fill orders. They're looking to make the connection between myself and you, right? Let's say you're a seller, I'm a buyer. They're looking for us to make that connection. So think of them more as the auctioneer than anything else, right? They're a facilitator than more than a trader or anything like that. And it's nice with the futures market because it's just one exchange. Everything comes through the CME. So like every order that comes through, we see it here on the chart. There's no hidden orders, no dark pools, no back doors, no flip flops or UHAs or fling flangs. Anyone seen anger management? Fiddle faddles. None of that. None of that crap like you get in the equities market. So look at this. They look to be buying that previous day's low. It looks like some buyers are trying to step up to buy this previous day's low. If they're able to hold, let's look to see if they get it back above that 63. Um, and then we'll target that 73. If not, then previous day's excess is going to be the range here down looking to that 40. The breath has chilled out a little bit, still pretty negative. Um, Not a lot of times I see this, right? We're seeing 15 to 1 negative on the NYSE and 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1 on the NASDAQ, right? Normally they're pretty similar. A little bit of a bounce there. Just want to say thanks again for everyone tuning in. We took that break so I could travel across the country, get over here on the East Coast, but I appreciate you guys coming back and being supportive and your bright shiny faces and ready to learn and win and do good stuff. There is some volatility going on this morning. Look at this little bounce of Ruski here, but look at the market. So we just bounced up here. Look at the tick bouncing up, but look at the breadth going down. So this is probably telling us that the buying here is coming in our weighted sectors, and we can see it here. Look, Apple's down less than 0.5%. Microsoft got a little boost. Google was at 2.5. It's at 1.5. Tesla's still getting smacked. Meta's still getting smacked, but Amazon not looking bad. If Amazon can get above 109, let's take a peek at Amazon real quick so I can show you guys what I'm looking at here. If Amazon can get above this 109 level, even 110, you should start to see these market makers look to be buying Amazon to go with those calls. So you might start to see a little rally up above 109, 110 on Amazon here. Curtis was just playing it. He's just eating. Hi. You can. I just have my iPad plug it in. No, that's fine. They are? Oh, okay. Not good? No. You're done? Go back up at that 63. Let's see if they hold this, and then they'll be looking to test back up to that 73. That's that Globex low here. Buyers are still stepping up. Sellers are starting to get a little bit of brave here. So we're looking at value, right? Value is, I wouldn't even say overlapping, it's just lower. We've broken the previous day's low, which opens up access to that 3742-ish area. There. Yeah, 3740, 42. If they're able to sustain below that T2 low, or that, I mean, basically the T1 low. Buyers stepping up here. Running into that resistance at the 60, it looks like. That's where sellers look like they're trying to sell here. Just be careful. I mean, if you're short, just be careful if they get above that 70 level. It's pretty weak up here, and then like I said, Globex was fairly weak. More of just a liquidation push down than anything. Looking for them, I'm looking for them to try to hold below this 53 and target this 42. Or hold above 63 and target this 73. Staying out of this chop area mostly for me. The tick has been pretty much pinned below zero. You see, every time it got to the zero, pretty much got sold down, and now we're getting back below 1,000 here. And the breadth is picking up a little bit more negative. You see consumer staples has flipped to red now. Not able to hold it back below. Only 49 contracts traded on that low again. Got about 6 minutes, about 5 minutes actually now until the next period opens up. When I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking about the psychology of the market, right? If we've got about 5 minutes left, and here's the timer right here. If we got about 5 minutes left and we're short in this A period and we're getting below that previous day's low and not really getting any push through, I'm looking to probably cover some of my position, right? So even if the market does get a little bit of a bounce here coming into the end of this period, we don't want to just be like, oh, sellers are done, we're going to get long. We've got to be careful, and that's why I was saying at the 63 level, I want to see us hang out above this 63 and hold that 63 in order to come up here and test that Globex low 73, 74 area, right? And then the same idea, I want to see us hang below this 53, but I won't really be looking to get short until this next period opens up. No, you're about to go over to Auntie's house, aren't you? Read a book. You have all those Harry Potters. There they go. Look at the breath picking back up. 23. Yes, down about 2%. Dow's down about 2%. Nasdaq's trying to catch up to it. Interesting. It looked like there were some buy stops down there in the excess from the 30th, but the market didn't trade all the way down there yet. Or maybe there wasn't enough supply to fill that. Now you're seeing, looks like people are starting to cover their shorts right here at that 52. Where's mommy at? Iran's military presence in the Red Sea highest in a decade. U.S. stocks fall down 2%. We already saw that. French President Macron says he wants to make negotiations on Iran deal succeed. Gasoline futures are down. You saw the oil's down, so 30 seconds left. Like I said, remember this is a little bit of short covering before the beast period opens up, so just don't get don't get too excited yet. What's interesting though is like if you look here at our weighted sectors, right? We're not really I mean, you could see our weighted sectors are up a little bit higher compared to our unweighted sectors, which is what's popping the market back up. So if the selling starts to subside in these unweighted sectors, you might see a little bit of a pop, and then vice versa. If the selling continues in the weighted sectors, then the market may start to push more on that downside. Here we go. Beast period opens up. There they go. They get the low. There's those buy stops that I was talking about. Next one's down at 45. It looks like it got all the other ones there. Is it a feeling or something you see in the charts that makes you think it's short covering? The reason I'm thinking that that is short covering is because when you get like these like pushes down and then it pops right back up, and then it'll pop up and then it'll stop, but it will come back down to this level. That's when I think it's short covering, right? So you get that initial buying, and I'm using quotations, buying from people covering shorts, which is right around here is where it looked like it, right around the 50. And then when the market doesn't come back down to that level, that's kind of showing us that maybe some buyers stepped up, but right there, it was pretty much just it would come up and then it would come right back down. It would come up and then it would come right back down. Come up, it was coming right back down. And that's what makes me think it's just short covering, just so that there's no real new buying. It's just the only buying here is just people covering their old positions. And there's no way to know for sure. So I definitely can't give you a with 100% certainty that was short covering and not just somebody trying to buy the low. There's no way for me to know for sure. It's just kind of um just like what I'm observing, I guess. What makes sense to me. I look at the market more uh probably psychologically based than anything else. I'm not I mean I like numbers, I'm good with numbers, but I don't really look at the numbers too much because I think that they are mostly just a distraction for most people. Um I'm more just thinking the psychology of it, and that's why I was saying, like, during B session I thought maybe we get a little bit of a pop because of it makes sense that people cover their shorts before that B period opened. And look at that, every time the market gets above that zero on the tick, it just gets sold right off. So basically sellers are just waiting right there on that zero tick. Breath is about 16 to 1. Some sellers move down on the 50. There they go. Targets below 42. Morning, Adam. How you doing? Yeah, buying did look to be stepping in here at the bottom. Observation for sure. Watch this 50 level. 50 was the level that they tried to sell off of last time. But they'll need to get above it. And if they get above it, and then they get above that 53.50, I'm thinking we'll start to see some more short covering. I think they sold the previous day's low. They came down, sold that 50, a nice round number, and then if we get above that 53.50, you'll start to see them start to cover the rest of their position if as they get a little bit scared. Did Curtis bring you your phone? Okay. Amazing. That's what I was saying. Like, I already worked out, I already stretched, I already like did everything I want to do for the day. Dude, I could have mowed the grass before I got on today. I had so much time. Time change alone makes the move worth it. Oh, and your dad hooked me up with this screen right here too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had 2 extra screens down in the shed, so
This
Samsung right here.
Oh, nice.
Because that's my screen back up
Wow.
there. But for some reason my graphics card isn't it's only accepting a DisplayPort cable. And that's a HDMI, that one, so I don't know what the thing is. Your dad got a 3080. The new graphics card. They've been like sold out for days.
We selling.
No. I have the same one that he's selling.
Oh.
He has the same one as I do.
Did he just get that for you this morning?
Yeah. He was up early this morning. He was up before me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like when the dog was barking?
Yeah.
He was already up. He had been up and been downstairs.
Oh, no, it wasn't that.
Uh-oh.
He woke me up. Ooh.
He was barking at Jean, of all people.
But if you just put the collar on, like he'll listen. He's a brat. How was it be?
Okay, are you coming back? Okay. Oh yeah, for a little while. Okay. I'll walk down there when I'm done too. Nora wants to show me all of her toys, so yeah. All of her horses. So look at Amazon right here, guys. We're getting up to that 109 level. This is that level that I was talking about on Amazon. If we get above this 109, 110 level on Amazon, you could start to see these market makers start buying Amazon, to go along with the calls. So just be careful here. It's 1010. Let's take a peek at the triple Q as well. It's definitely it looks like a trap and it feels like a trap. No way to know it's a trap until the day's over, but that is kind of how it feels and looks, if I'm being honest. Oop, almost back up to our magic 63. So they were able to take, these sellers were able to take the previous day's low, but they weren't able to take Thursday's low. And it's been pretty choppy, to be honest. And I kind of expect more chop to continue. A little bit of selling here, right here on this 60. Sellers are trying to move down to sell this 60. Three contracts trade on that B high right there. Look at our tech. Apple's almost green. Got Microsoft under 1%. Amazon's flipping to green. Even Facebook, Meta is flipping to green as well. Look at the breadth, 7-1 here. Nasdaq's starting to slip up a little bit as well, at least as far as the downside is concerned. And this 280 level, right? That's going to be a level that our market makers have sold their puts from. So basically what happens is if you're short a put, where's my pen at? You're short a put, right? If you sell a put, that means you're long. I know it's confusing. Options are kind of weird. But we're having that 280. So as we get back below that 280, these market makers need to sell. I don't have like an actual mouse pad. I'm using the chair. These market makers will look to short or sell the equity or the stock or the future based off of where they're at, right? So if they're below that 280, they pretty much are selling every rally. So if we get above this 280 on the triple Q, look to hold, you might start to see some of these market makers look to be buying back some of those short positions, and that could cause the market to get up a little bit more. Yeah, choppy day, Tommy. Yeah, it's just been, and it's been bouncing around. Like it almost feels like there's kind of like low liquidity just because I feel like it's skipping over a lot of like a lot of ticks, or it's just running, not filling a lot of orders on every level. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are in and out today. But which makes sense, right? You think about who's trading today. Summertime just started. You've got a lot of probably younger, experienced or less experienced traders on the market um as far as you know, like on the actual like hedge funds and stuff. Oh, what's up, Dad? The Zoom is on as well, Dad, if you wanted to jump on the Zoom. The internet's working pretty good. My father-in-law upgraded his internet so I could stream and not have too many issues. And it seems like, you know, we've got Zoom running, we've got Thinkorswim, Sierra Charts, Streamlabs, TradingView, Discord. You know, it's all working out pretty good so far. So fingers crossed. Also, good news. In October this year, I'm gonna go bear hunting. Pretty exciting, I know. I'm on a fucking rug. We go bear rug. So not really able to claim above that 63 too much. They're trying right here on that 60. You can see that VPOC right there sitting on that 60, but not really too crazy yet. You can look at this the breath is coming up, but if we zoom in here, he's seeing a huge increase in advance versus decline. But we did have information technology flip green, consumer discretionary, and communication services I would like to see consumer staples flip back to green. They were our only green sector early on this morning. And remember, like I said on the triple Q, until we get above this 280 level, you can expect market makers to just be selling this level, right? They're going to sell rallies and buy breaks when we're below this level. So until we get above this level, that's when you can expect them to come in and start buying, which can cause that nice move up if they come. Can you eat bear? Fuck yeah, you can eat bear. You can eat anything, bro. I've eaten a blue jay before. Not by choice. My stepdad made me eat it because I shot it with a pellet gun. He was like, well, you have to eat everything that you shoot. I was like, fuck. Definitely wouldn't have shot if I knew that. But yeah, we're gonna go bear hunting and get it taxidermied, do a rug. You can't hear anything? I feel like you're screaming at me through text. I think everybody else can hear me, so it's probably you, Dad. Your settings are probably fucked up. He's such an old man with the caps lock. That's how he writes too. That's how I write too, though. But I got it from him. I just write in all caps. My handwriting's so bad, I just write in caps. Then I could read. You know, my dad's actually he's pretty fit. He's just not technologically advanced. You know, he doesn't not big into technology. He's always been outside. So oh, we got one of my little brothers just came back from Spain. He did a year abroad over there, or a semester abroad over there for college. I have two letters for all of you. He did some time over in Spain, and I was chatting with him this weekend. We got him set up on Ninja Trader. Um, you know, so he's I got him reading mind over markets right now, and he's gonna read markets in profile, and then we'll start getting him on the chart, get him onto some zones. Hopefully, a couple months from now, he'll start taking some sim trades. And then hopefully, a few months after that, he'll feel confident enough to jump on the real account and start getting on this journey with all of us. So it's exciting. Smart kid. Smart kid. He's how old is Austin? 22? He born in 99. I know he's born in November. He was born November 25th. Austin was. Thanksgiving Day. The year he was born, it was Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's on a different day every year, but yeah, he was born on Thanksgiving Day. I'm pretty sure it's the 25th. He's like one of my only brother's birthdays that I can remember. I got 5 brothers and a sister, so it's a lot of dates to remember, guys. So look at this. We're actually getting some ticks above the 0 level here. You're starting to see a little bit of hope, right? Luke Skywalker is just like, oh. No, that reminds me, I gotta watch the new Obi-Wan here pretty soon. Anyone watch the new Stranger Things? I heard it's epic. I need to watch that as well. Auntie kicks you guys out. Season 4 is awesome. Oh, okay. I'll check that out for sure. Are you guys down in Texas, Uncle Stacy? Nice. That's awesome. Congrats. Oh, that's exciting. Nice. You gonna get season tickets to the Cowboys? You're right there. This is the year they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I had a dream in about 2 years ago. Bye. See you guys later. I'll come down there when I'm done streaming. I'll come down there when I'm done streaming. I had a dream about 2 years ago that I was at the Super Bowl and I was with James and we were in Arizona and then so I I immediately Googled when's the Super Bowl gonna be. Okay. Love you. Immediately Googled like when's the Super Bowl gonna be in Arizona, and then I was like, all right, place your bets. Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. Because that's the only reason I imagine I could be there, unless somehow I win like a free ticket or something. But I don't think I'd fork over 10 grand to go see a game that the Cowboys weren't in. Oh, thank you, thank you. The market just hanging out around this 60 level, still inside yesterday's range, right? So we, well, I guess not we, but the market is not able to really hold us below yesterday's range, and we can see where a lot of this volume came in here, down right by the 50. That's where a little short covering started from. We've got about 5 minutes left until the next period opens up. And look at this market lately, right? It's just been kind of a mess all over the place. And this is that gap that I was talking about to the low side down here. So, if the market does break this low here, that it just seems like that's going to be that target, and it might come fairly quick. This day is pretty much nonsense. I'm not even looking at that, so I'm just looking at it from here. But it looks like that would be the target to the downside. And then should we break the upside, it would look to me like the market is not really having much resistance above this balance, right? We have a little bit of single prints up here that I forgot to mark, my bad. But you can see from the 27th, I believe, or no, 28th, it was pretty much just pure liquidation. If we open it up, you can see, the market started up here and then just pretty much sold off all day. Watch this low here, this 53.50. Norway strikes threaten to cut off gas supplies to UK within days. Norway warns gas exports to the UK could be cut off this weekend. So that's kind of what we were talking about early. If you guys were on early in the stream, I was talking about how winter is coming, which is, you know, a little bit of a play on words from Game of Thrones, if you guys have seen that. You know, Europe gets pretty cold in the winter time, guys. If you guys haven't been there, it gets pretty cold, and that gas is going to be needed to keep people warm. We saw what happened in Texas when they, you know, didn't have gas for a few days. People forgot how to make a fire. So, um, it's you know, it's an interesting thing, and I mean it's scary, you know, because we don't, as much as it might be uh nice to have the opportunity to have a different type of power that's consistent or as reliable as oil and gas is. We don't have that yet. And like I said, you know, if you create a water powered engine, you know, just keep your head on a swivel because the FBI might come take your head off. Uh, you know, just kidding. But we, you know, there's not enough solar to go around, and so at least right now, within the immediate year, that fuel is going to be needed, and without it, it's going to cause a lot of suffering, and not only with heat, but it's going to cause suffering with food as well. And then, you know, you've got a lot of these big companies. There's a lot of I don't know if I would call it monopolies, but I guess we could, you know, that really dictate whatever price they want to sell things for. One of my my little brother that was just in Spain, he was saying that they don't really have peanut butter there. It's all imported, and Spain is one of those countries that pretty much is self-sustaining. They don't really export a lot. They don't really import a lot. Um, are you trying to get disappeared? Here goes C period. Let's see what we get. Um, but you know, like he said a jar of peanut butter was $8 over there just because it's an import. So I knew Kevin, I knew you would get the reference. I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's nuts. It's fucking crazy out there. You know, and it's saddening to see. You know, I was I saw the news of that dipshit that went on a rampage at the 4th of July parade in Illinois yesterday, and in the comments, you know, people are not concerned about their fellow Americans that lost their lives. They're concerned about if he was a Trump supporter, if he was a Biden supporter. You know, it's fucking pathetic that that's what everything is coming down to. You know, that's like it's like they figured out, if they finally got past uh the, you know, the black or white thing, that's always been an issue, it seems, in America, and now they just have pinned the left versus the right, and that's all anyone cares about. Anytime anything happens, it's like, ah, it's Trump's fault, oh, it's Biden's fault. It's like, oh my god, pull your fucking head out of your ass, open your eyes a little bit. Ah, it's frustrating. You know, it's like everybody should know that you're stronger together, right? A little bit of buying off the B half back right there. Let's see if they go back down there and try to push that thing back down. But you know, like, I mean, there's just so much opportunity if we would just work together and solve problems together and be nice to each other. You know, being nice can just go such a long way. I was reading this uh meme newspaper, I guess, like they basically just, it's like satirical, and the article was a quote, I mean, not a real quote, but a fake quote from Nancy Pelosi, and it says, if inflation's hurting you, just become a million, or just get elected to Congress and use insider trading to become a millionaire, and you won't have to worry about it. I thought that was pretty interesting. So just, we're going to carry that forward, right? Not saying that we're going to go back down to that C low right away, but let's just carry that forward. That C low is mechanical. So let's see if they can take this B high. That B high right here, they don't get it yet. And 20,000 K of ice cream, yeah. Exactly. You read the same article, yeah. That show's funny. Every once in a while, you got to read some satire. It's good for you. Like, if you don't watch South Park, you should probably watch South Park. It's funny. And that's my biggest thing is like, well, everyone laughs at themselves, and if you can't laugh at yourself, you're just taking yourself too goddamn serious. Let's see if they can get that C low now. They're down here. A little bit of absorption down there. It looked like some buyers were trying to step up and grab it, but I got a little bit impatient and they chased that bid all the way back up to the high at 65. And look at that triple Q right off that 280 level, right? So that's what we were saying. They're selling these rallies. Until we get above that 280 on the triple Q, we can't really be expecting too much upside. The breadth is starting to flatten out a bit, and the NASDAQ looks like it might be, wanting to flip over here. You can see the NASDAQ down less than 1%, leading the way comparatively. Look, NY or the ES 1.8, the Dow 2, Russell 1.7, the NASDAQ less than 1% down here. Some people are saying growth and inflation fears may have peaked. Everyone's just like posting everything every week trying to say, oh, that was the bottom, just in case, so they can retweet it a year from now and say, remember when I called the bottom? Gold's getting a little bit of a smack too. Where's gold at? Over 1.5%, and oil's almost down 5% today. That's why the Dow's probably struggling so much. Take a look at our heat map. Pretty. Still way below here. He takes that B high now. What we've been waiting for. I want to see him break above the 73 here. They need to get above that 73 in order to be convincing. A real weak spot in the profile right here. They're going to target that open right there, 74, which is pretty much the Globex low. And that'll be kind of our first key of opportunity for these sellers to come back in and sell that value area low or that previous high of a high. I don't think they've got the juice. Look at the breadth. Nasdaq's flipped to green, and look at the triple Q. So we broke above that 280, and now we're starting to see market makers pour in and buy above the 280. That's what we're looking for, and they just need to hold above it. Nice move here. Still got it, guys. I was wondering if it was going to be like riding a bike. I guess it is. Little poor high here. Remember what I said? Really above this 90, the overnight inventory was just a liquidation. So there wasn't really a lot of selling. It was just, in my opinion, it was mostly just liquidation here. Let's see how strong the buying is in the weighted sectors. And look at, we talked about this earlier. If these unweighted sectors start to give up and start to flip, we can start to see this nice pump, right? All eyes are going to be on this consumer staples. This was our only green sector this morning. Then everything flipped to red as the market traded down below previous day's low and the Globex low. But if we see consumer staples start to get a little bit bullish, maybe people get a little bit confident. Financials and healthcare lagging here. So another peek into value from Friday, not able to hold it. Like I said, we could expect some sellers to be active right here. Now what we'd like to see, if we're continuing to the upside, like to see them hold above this 70 to 67 level and get back inside previous day's value to get any continuation to the upside. Reality is just looking like the Nasdaq is just carrying us up at this rate. So no complaints for me there, but we've just got to be careful to make sure that that's what we're watching out for. And I guess there is an Apex sale if you are looking to do the funded account. There's a 80% off on there. I think it ends today. I saw you guys chatting about it in the Discord, so I didn't even worry about it. You guys were on it before I was, so. And that's another thing too. Like if you guys want to post anything in the Discord, like don't feel like, oh, I don't know if this should be posted here or where. Just post it. Who cares? It's a community of information sharing, right? which is kind of the whole point of crypto, right? Sharing that information, and kind of what I mean, not necessarily crypto, but the sharing community type aspect is what's going to be able to save the world. Um, and so, I want to encourage that as much as possible. Yeah, the test for the funding is 80% off. Yep. When you check out, you just type in save 80. But back down to this 67 level. This is the level I'd like to see us hold here. We did put in a poor high, but I'd like to see the market. I'd like to see these buyers try to step up here. A little bit of backfilling, which makes sense. And we do have still about 7 minutes left until D period opens up. Georgie the Moon, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just got I got in about Thursday last week. Um, Drove across the country, got to see a bunch of friends and stuff, so it was pretty cool. And now I'm on the East Coast, so it'll be a little bit easier. The hours will be a little bit easier for me. A lot more opportunity here. So it doesn't really hold to 67, but we're doing a little bit of backfilling here around this 65. Fades back down to the 60. Maybe it wants to go get that weak low. Or we've got a poor high, so we've got a weak high, and we also have a weak low in this C period, right at that B halfback. That tick up pretty low there. Yeah, Georgie, it's so much nicer, I'll be honest. Like I mean, just so much time to pretty much do whatever I wanted this morning. Um, and not have to like wake up, pound a coffee, turn my brain on, like, get everything going. I have time to do everything on the East Coast. A little bit, I don't even say a little bit, it's a lot easier for me. Because I'm not really I mean, even though I did it in the army forever, um, I don't enjoy waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Some people are, early risers. Not me. I like to wake up whenever my body wakes up. I don't set an alarm. I just, whenever my body's like, all right, let's wake up. Even when I was on the West Coast and I was waking up, I didn't really set an alarm. I just got up whenever my body woke up, which was mostly around like 6. And then, I got 30 minutes to get all my shit together, evaluate what's going on in the market, and then try to be ready for the open. So that's not really a lot of time. The dollar's coming back up here now. Take that cold shower, yep. Can't go wrong with a cold shower. They're pushing back down to that C low. See if they can fix it. About 2 minutes until D period opens up. One app that I've been using really frequently lately is called Good Notes. It's it makes it a lot easier to stay organized. If you've got trouble with where you take your notes or where you keep your trade journals and things like that, Good Notes is really easy to keep organized. And you know, if you get it on your iPad, get like a pencil or like a Surface Pro or whatever those things are called, and you got like the little stylus. The writing on there is actually pretty clean, and you can type in there too if you don't like your handwriting. Nasdaq's flipping back to red. The breath is at least. A little bit of selling in the weighted sectors before this D period opens up, right? Taking that profit before we get a next period. TradingView has a trade journal. Nice. Yeah, I like the Good Notes because, well, I guess if TradingView can be on the go as well too. So, but I like this. What do you call it? The Good Notes because you can import like books into it. You can take notes on the books. You can do a lot of stuff on it. I can even import my PDFs onto it and edit them. So I'm trying to learn how to use it a little bit better. But once I do learn how to use it, I'll be able to basically set up my trade view without having to be on my computer, which I guess won't really be necessary anymore because, you know, I don't have to wake up till fucking super early. So, and that'll actually probably make the trade view a little bit better because then we won't be having to, you know, won't be like a 8-hour difference from the time I wrote the trade view to when the time the market is actually getting ready to open. We're looking at a couple hours, maybe, depending upon when I get on the computer in the morning. Yeah, one downside will be the sports, though. It'll be tough to watch games that are later in the night. Get a game that doesn't start till, you know, 8:30 at night here, football game. Yeah, I won't stay up for that shit. Chance. A little bit of buying off that T2 low and that B half back here. About 30 seconds. Oh no, we got about 9 minutes. Never mind. I was tripping. Now we have the minutes next week. Let me pull up the economic calendar real quick. So we look at the economic calendar. Tomorrow we get the FOMC minutes. I really hate this one, to be honest with you. Big. Here's Tuesday. Not much happening Tuesday, but we got the mortgage rates coming out. We have that ISM manufacturing PMI that's going to come out 30 minutes after the market opens tomorrow. The FOMC minutes will come out around 2 o'clock. before the market closes. And then Thursday, we have a bunch of Fed speakers, I believe. Continuous jobless claims, initial jobless claims. Yeah, we got Walter. We have the Bank of England Fed, the German president. And then Friday should be a pretty interesting day too, with all the non-farm payrolls and a lot of information coming out of Canada as well. Overtime and last call at the same time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, that's the one thing that's nice. I mean, not one thing. There's a bunch of things that are nice about the West Coast, but you watch a football game and it's over, at bedtime or even before bedtime. So it's like a commitment if you want to watch a game late in the night. But at least being on the East Coast, if the Cowboys are over here playing one of the East Coast teams, they'll be on TV. Like in the West Coast, you get blacked out and you have to watch the fucking Niners play all the time and they suck. Watch this 280 level on the triple Q here. Or if they get back below that 280, you might start seeing these market makers add on to their short and start selling to cover for those puts. But as long as they're above, they should be okay. Not a huge fan of that C low, very mechanical. Oil's almost down 7%. Mechanical? So, when we're talking about a mechanical reference, what we're looking at is a very easy to see level, right? So like a previous day's low here, this T2 low, or this B half back, or this is the B open actually, the B open. So very easy to see level, right? And that's mechanical. And it's not going to change, right? As far as like a more dynamic would be like your value area. Dynamic levels be value area low and value area high because they can change based off of how the market trades throughout the day. Whereas this B open is always going to be the B open. It's not going to change. So when you see people start buying these mechanical levels or these static reference points, typically a lot of times those are more weak-handed traders. Those are traders that are looking to get in here, catch a little bit of a bump, and then get out. They're not dedicated to this level. They'll hold it if the market just starts to go up, but they're not really committed to that. And a lot of times when we have these mechanical levels, they clean it up, right? And they just cleaned it up right there. And so you can sometimes have, right, let's say if they buy this mechanical level and they're buyers here, all of a sudden the market trades below and these guys flip and now they want to sell, right? And that's the psychology of the market. They're just looking at this level and they're saying, okay, I want to buy every time it goes above and I want to sell every time it goes below. And that's kind of the psychology behind those mechanical traders. And I'm not saying that, I know, well, even Jim Dalton isn't he's not a adversary against trading mechanical reference points, because you can trade successfully mechanical reference points. You just want to be careful because you want to know who you're participating with. So if you're participating with a bunch of weak-handed traders, you've got to understand that they're willing to cut their position like that. These are professionals, so you've got to be willing to do the same, right? And that's one thing I always try to, or one thing I guess advocate against it, is trying to stick away from some of these mechanical levels or mechanical references as a beginner. But you know, there is opportunity all over the market, right? It's just a matter of understanding. And oh, where's my fucking notebook? I actually did a great, I had a great thought yesterday. Let me pull my fucking notes out. Where are you? Goodness. Okay, so let me pull this open real quick. Yesterday I wrote down, you guys remember before we had talked about the Kobe versus Jordan thing, right? And we said if we could pick who's gonna win, Kobe versus Jordan, okay? I'll just use this space over here. Kobe versus MJ. And let's say Kobe gets the ball first, drills a three, drills another three. Well, first actually, let's do this. Let's say we bet first, right? And this is how I want you to think about the market, right? We're betting for the most part. You know, a lot more goes into it. I'm just simplifying it about 100 times, but you bet, right? Who picks Kobe? Who picks Jordan? We've done this before. Most people pick Jordan, okay? Let's say the game goes on and the game is to 21, and at the end of 21 it goes back to 0 and starts again. And this is how our auction goes, right? This is just a different way to look at it. So 21 points get scored, a new auction gets started, and an auction starts again. A game starts over. Let's say Kobe scores 6 points off the bat. Jordan's got 0. Okay. Now you have an opportunity. I come to you and I say, okay, you bet on Jordan, but Kobe's up 6-0. You want to change your bet? Right? And this is where the psychology comes into it, right? Because most people say, no way. I believe in Jordan. I believe in this and that. There goes D period opening up, one tick below that C low. Let's see if they can keep getting it below. Remember, they're below this T2 low here. And if they want to keep, or if they want to get some extension to the downside, they're going to have to start keeping it below that T2 low. The breadth is picking up a little bit more negative. And that triple Q is down here below now. Get rid of this real quick. We're starting to see that tick come down too. And look at the unweighted sectors just really giving up down here. But so let's say I give you the opportunity to change your bet, right? Just like in the market, right? Let's say going up is Kobe, going down is Jordan. Well, the market goes up 6 points. Do you still want to be on Jordan's team? Now you're down 6 points. People think, well, I don't know, right? But some people believe in their position and they'll just hold on to it forever. Let's say Kobe scores another 6. Jordan hasn't even got a chance to touch the ball. Kobe's on fire. He's up 12-0 now. Now do you want to change your bet? Right? And then now let's say you change your bet. Say, oh, okay, I'm going to go with Kobe. I'm going to go with the upside, right? We said Kobe's to the upside, Jordan's to the downside. Kobe's up 12-0. You decide, you know what? I'm going to change my bet. 12-0, that's a pretty good lead. I'm going to change my bet, right? Jordan scores 12 in a row. Kobe can't stop him. The game's tied 12-12. Now what do? You go back to Jordan because he was your original thought? Do you stay with Kobe? Right? There's a lot of other factors that are going into the game, right? Who's looking good? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? But this is kind of how I want you to think about it, or how I'm kind of thinking about it in my head is if we're getting if you're given the opportunity, which you are in the market, to be on the winning side all the time, right? And then we get down here and it's 12-12, so the market's balanced, right? Or that the game is balanced again, then then what can we do, right? We can step out, get out of the way, or just let the market go ahead, and then, next couple of points, Jordan scores 12 more, or let's say he scores let's say he scores 10 points, and then that's 22, right? So the game's over. So Kobe wins that one. Now the auction begins again, right? Or the game begins again. They start playing to 21 again. So that's kind of the difference between the markets and a game, is that the markets are endless, an endless two-way auction. They're always continuing on, but you always have a start and a finish to the auction until it switches directions, right? How long or how short that auction is really is just depending upon the market participants and what's going on. The thing I'm trying to push across here really is to help you not be attached to the name, right? Michael Jordan, best player of all time. Let's say Kobe gets up 17-0. Do you still stick with Jordan? Right? If the bookie offers you an opportunity to flip flop. TJ, what's up, man? Glad to see you too. Most times people are their own worst enemy in the market, and that's because they are just so convinced that Kobe's going to beat Jordan, or Jordan's going to beat Kobe, that there's no way that they're going to do anything else. Hey, Patrick. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. There's just, they're dead set. There's just no way, and so they just stick with their guy forever, right? But when we're trading in the market, we have actually three opportunities. We have an opportunity to admit that we were wrong, and Kobe's ahead, and we don't know how the game's going to end, which is the best thing that you can do, is admitting that you just don't know, right? Because you just don't. Nobody does. It's just an impossible task. And you have an opportunity to flip-flop, right? Yeah, Jordan might be the best player, but maybe Kobe's on fire today. If any of you guys have ever played any sports or played any games or done anything, every once in a while you feel it. Last night I entered a $3 poker tournament at 9 o'clock at night, ended up staying up till 1 a.m. and won $280. And I was tired as fuck, but I was feeling it. I was feeling the cards, I was feeling the other players in the tournament. I got third place in the tournament, so no first place. I think first place got $400, but it's just that opportunity to get out of your own way, and to understand that just because Jordan may be a better player than Kobe doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to win every single time that they play. And it's the same way in the market. Just because everything in the economy in the world, companies are overblown, gas is $7 in California, fucking gallons of milk are $10 in Hawaii, right? Just because that's happening doesn't necessarily mean that the market has to move a certain direction. And so these are these things when you're developing your trade plan or your thesis on what's going to happen intraday, or what's going to happen with the next couple of days, that can get you in the most trouble, especially when you come up with the information on your own. And I'm guilty of this myself. I'm not saying it as you, I'm saying it as us as people, because it's a human trait, the psychological aspect of it, to not be able to admit defeat, right? It's not in a lot of us, and with some of us it's even worse, because some of us hate losing, right? You just hate it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like to lose. I'll be honest. I'm not really a bad loser, not as much as I used to be as a kid. I would take a fit every time I would lose something. I fucking hated losing, and I felt like I was getting scammed. Because when you practice hard at something and then you still lose, can be frustrating, right? And so then you want to hang on to the information, especially the information that you gathered yourself. And then a lot of people also, you get that psychological aspect, and there's somebody that you watch, maybe me, maybe I say, oh, I think the market's going to go up, and you're like, fucking Brad, idiot, we're going down, and you just get short. Market goes up a little bit, and you're like, he's wrong, we're going to go short, right? This is one thing my friend Jared struggled with for such a long time. um, Disconnecting that information and just paying attention to what's happening right in front of us, right? Kobe gets up 6-0. Well, 6 points is a lot. Kobe's no slouch. So imagine if we started the game 6-0. Imagine if we're playing Kobe versus Jordan here, right? We got Kobe versus MJ, but Kobe gets a 6-0 start. Yo, I'm on stream. Yeah. Oh yeah, I started a market open. Probably. I'm not in a trade right now, no. No, I'm waiting for it to get above 63 to get back into the long. I was in a long earlier. 65, yeah, down about 15 points. Yeah, jump on the stream. I will. Speak of the devil. Jared must have heard his ears ringing. But so imagine the game starts 6-0, right? Kobe gets a 6-point advantage. Now who do you bet on? Right? Do you pick Kobe to win the game to 21, or do we still pick MJ because MJ is the greatest player of all time? Right? It becomes, and this is how the market is. This is exactly how the market is, and how you know, hopefully a way that you can think about it, right? Or think about our the greatest soccer player or football player of all time. Yeah, maybe Kobe tweaks his ankle, exactly, right? This is like the first time in, I think, like 15 years that Cristiano Ronaldo didn't win the club title, and he is voicing his opinion about it. He wants to leave Manchester because he's pissed, because he I mean, regardless if you like the guy or not, or like how he plays or not, you have to give credit where credit is due, right? I'm not the biggest LeBron fan because I think that um I think that he is, if I think if LeBron just focused on playing, um he would have done better than he's done. And there's, you can't take anything away from him, right? He's just a fucking freak of nature. He's just such a good player. But he was so focused on being better than Jordan that, the conversation's still stuck there. That, I don't know if he's better than Jordan, and then the debate comes, and between a younger crowd and an older crowd, and the best player, Leo Messi. Yeah, I mean, see, that's debatable, because how do you pick the best player in a team sport? Best player ever in a team sport. But I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Messi, and I wouldn't, that's a valid point, Nick. Like, I wouldn't say it's hard to judge, right? And because Messi plays striker, and I mean, most of the time Cristiano Ronaldo plays on the wing. He plays striker, but most of the time he plays on the wing. Well, and that's the thing, Kevin, is like, you think about that. He had to make his own team, and Jordan played with who was there, but so did Steph Curry. So maybe Steph Curry's the best player of all time because that's a homegrown team. Oh, because you're from Argentina? Yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing. Is like, though all those things are in there, right? Like, one of my favorite players in the NFL, Marshawn Lynch, because he's a Bay Area boy. He's a stud, and he's from the Bay Area, and he's just a real ass dude. And I'd say he's one of the best running backs ever. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of titles. He doesn't have the most rushing yards, but he brings other things to the game that motivate the team. You know what I mean? Skittles. Everybody loves Skittles. Biden could lift tariffs on 10 billion worth of Chinese goods under a plan discussed with the administration. I feel like money to the government is just fucking, shit. Can LeBron play baseball too? No, but neither could Jordan. I would bet that LeBron could have played in the NFL, to be honest with you. He probably could have played quarterback or receiver. I mean, his athleticism is he's the most athletic person I think ever to play in the NBA. It's crazy. And, my favorite player for soccer or football, depending upon where you're from, is Saha. He was my favorite player. He used to be a striker for Manchester United, and he was just a stud. And then, of course, my NBA 2K player, Brad Bradley, is 7 feet monster, basically like Shaq. Or we got the Euro close in 15 minutes as well. Yeah, Louis Saha. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, he's a fucking monster. Or he was a monster. Him and Rooney. That was back when Manchester was just like dominating every single year. They got to get back above that 53.50 if they want to have any chance at previous day's low. You could beat Shaq in a free throw contest? I might be able to. Yeah, Rooney was impossible to tackle. He was just a fucking freak. I loved Ronaldinho too, but he just like disappeared. Remember Ronaldinho was like kicking the ball off the crossbar, juggling it, and then kicking it off the crossbar again, and then all of a sudden just like that was it. He was like on the cover of FIFA one year, and then next year he just like didn't play anywhere. Terry Henry is the king, though. I knew Tommy was gonna say that. Henri is how you say his name, though, right? Henri. Yeah, yeah, he's such a fucking stud. He loves the party, as all Brazilians. Yeah, I gotta go down to Brazil one of these days. South America, well, not really South America, but Central America is getting pretty dangerous these days. I was reading this thing that there's like 100,000 people missing from Mexico City right now, like, and they think it's just uh, cartel driven. I'm like, Jesus Christ, 100,000 people, it's a lot of people. Yeah, I got to go down to Colombia to visit Peter, have him show me around, see what it's all about. Go see Medellin and all the good stuff. I want to go down to a game down there. Yeah, that's why I'm wondering, Tommy, if they'll try to keep him, if they'll try to keep Ronaldo because I mean he just wants the effort. I mean he just got such his boot is just Kevin. There's your buyers, Jared. So they're back above this T2 low, this Friday's low. This is where they need to hold, and really for me, I'm looking to see them get above this 63 and hold that 63. Came down, we tested that excess and B period, held it. Not really a ton of supply down there. Not that I could see. It looked like they stepped up back on the 50 and unfinished. Unfinished look. It's a weird profile today. Starting to shape up pretty balanced for the most part. Like Tommy said, it's probably going to be a pretty boring day. Just trading inside the initial bounce. Let's see what happens. We got about, what time is it? About 11 minutes until the euro close. So it'll be interesting if it was that European influence that caused that liquidation, which it very well could have if we look at the Globex profile. See what time this was at. About 1, 2, 3. About 10 hours in, so that would bring us from about 6. Yeah, about 4. Yeah, so about the European Open here is when that selling started to occur. So it could be interesting if during this Euro close we start to see a nice little rally. There'll be a lot of the Euro session getting out of their shorts. Oil's down about 7%, cracking that 100 mark. Look at the Dow, down 2%, getting dragged down. Nasdaq's down about 1%. You can see both of them flip back to red, and we're below that 280 level here. And Apple's kind of looking like a P shape here. So this could be, really just a bit of short covering from that close from the end. It was a morning session, I think. 37.20 to 37.10. Yeah, I have it down here. I'm counting it as well, Tommy. Yeah, I think that. Oops, hang on, let me zoom this out a little bit so you can see it. It's bigger. Yeah, I'm not. This is just the BS day here, so I'm still tracking that gap. I might not have it exact though. Yeah, there was no. Yeah, exactly. No settlement that day. Getting close to that 50 level here. This was a key level earlier this morning, if you guys remember. That they should try to hold this. These buyers should try to hold this 50. Really need to hold above that 53 half if they want to have any chance to continue this upside. The longer we spend below the yesterday's low or Friday's low, the better the odds are that we keep extending the range to the downside. Mexico has the highest UFO sightings in the world. That makes sense. With the pyramids and stuff. I saw this one conspiracy this week about the pyramids in Iraq, and it was talking about George Bush Senior and even George Bush Senior, or his grandfather, whatever his name was. I'm not sure. Well, all eyes on the 50 here, guys. Let's see if they're gonna either establish above or below this 50. I know we got the 53 half, which is previous day's low, but this 50 level has been a little bit more key than that to me so far. The look at the weighted sectors down here. You're starting to see us start to drift down a little bit, and look at the seller that was selling that zero tick is starting to come back in. So let's see if they give up. 5 minutes until that euro close. So let's see what we got. All right. Knock out a couple push-ups. Decided that push-up game was getting a little bit weak, so started getting it back on track. I used to be able to knock out 150 push-ups in 2 minutes. Now I'm about like fucking 28 push-ups in 2 minutes. So I could push stuff and pull stuff, but my push-up game got really kind of weak. So let's get some blood flowing in the body. Supposedly the reason we went to Iraq was because Saddam had found a portal. Yeah, that's what I was watching, Kevin. If you have a link to that, send it to me. I wanted to send it to Jared. Jared's a really big conspiracy person. I like talking to him about stuff like that. Yeah, it was like a fucking time traveling portal or some shit. It was nuts. I watched like a 30-minute video. I can't remember where I saw it. That's the thing. I saw it while I was driving. And, don't text and drive, so I didn't get to save it. 279 lots stepping up there on the 48 3/4. Yeah, apparently there was a portal there, and like originally when the UK invaded Iraq after World War One, that's what they were looking for, and then the US did it a couple of times. So it's like speculative if they actually found it or if it was just bullshit. CERN, there it is. Google that, Jared. CERN. Well, like I was saying earlier, it's summertime now, so we've been kind of blessed with these wide ranges and easy money lately. But now that everyone's on vacation out in the Hamptons and wherever they're at, might get a little bit smaller ranges. We're in about 30-point range today. Just about. I'm gonna grab a water real quick. I'll be right back. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm back. It felt the same as today. Yeah, and so that probably, Tommy, is an indication that shorter term time frame traders are in charge right now. And that's going to be our, our newer people that are working at these hedge funds or things like that, because they're not allowed, if the head trader that's out in the Hamptons looks at his spreadsheet and sees one of them's fucking it up, that he might come back from vacation and fire everybody. So they're being very careful getting in, getting out. It does look like we have some buy stops here down below, and the market might want to come back down to like a 40 or something. Where's that previous low at? 42. All right, so here's the euro close. Let's see what we get. Yeah, there looks to be a little bit more liquidity down here that they might try to come grab. The E period basically bounces right off that 50 here. You said north of Brazil is beautiful. I want to go down to Argentina actually, because I watched this show called Hunting Hitler with Tim Kennedy, where he goes like all over Argentina, and there's like a bunch of like fucking German colonies, basically a bunch of people that speak German down there, and there's speculation that that's where Hitler escaped to, and all these conspiracy theories. But I just like history, so I'd love to go down there and check some of that out. You're going to Argentina? Nice. Are you in Mexico right now, Kevin? That's what I remember seeing you saying that you're working on your truck at your buddies down in Mexico. I wasn't sure if you're still down there or how long you were staying. There you go, Jared. A little bit less sweat. So E period takes that D high. Now we really just got a back and forth, just sitting inside this initial balance here. There's a lot of German schools. Well, I mean, there was definitely like a mass exodus back in the day, um, like from Germany during World War II with German people that didn't agree with what was going on, and they fled to South America, because they know, well, they probably saw how the Americans were treating, uh, Japanese Americans, just fucking throwing them in camps and shit. Um, so they didn't want to go to America, and they couldn't go anywhere else in Europe because it was basically just war torn. So a lot of them fled to South America. But that makes sense. A portal in Antarctica could be. What part of Mexico are you in? Hello? Hi. Oh, some hoagies? Just get me. Um, I'll take just a sandwich and some fries, like a club sandwich type. Regular fries. Yeah. Or if they have a BLT, I'll take a BLT instead of a club. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll be down there shortly. Okay. Bye. Love you too. Bye. Oh, Mexicali? Yeah, it is. It is kind of like a fucking like a butthole of California. Pretty much California's turning into a butthole though, so yeah, just a little stop run. These buyers are a little bit scared. We've got the Fed minutes tomorrow, and I don't think anyone is really willing to make a make a strong push. There's a lot of liquidity below us, but not much above us, which is interesting. Jared, I'm in a recliner. All my screens. My Margaret's dad bought me this big ass L desk, so I set up all my screens on there, and he gave me an extra screen because one of mine broke. And I'm in like a recliner, like leaning back, looking at all these things. It's gangster real. It's pretty cool. I'll send you a picture. Fall asleep. I just reach to my right. My controller's right there. Dude, I'm telling you, NA East is sweaty. We'll have to get on later. Look at the tick here. That zero level still getting just sold. Every time it gets above, it's been getting sold. The breadth on the Nasdaq hasn't been coming down too much, but if we take a peek at the uh, the individual equities, we could see Apple's down about zero point 0.3, Microsoft, Google flipped to green, Amazon flipped to green, Tesla's still been getting punished today, but Meta's green as well. Tesla drags the market down sometimes, to be honest, because it's such a big company, and since it got added to the Nasdaq in 2020, it's been really a big mover. The dollar is still looking. Let me pull the dollar back up. The dollar's looking strong as all hell still. Jared, remember I said that? Well, the ruble, yeah, it's kind of a joke though. Well, yeah, because it was basically worth nothing when 2022 started. Yeah. It's Grandpa Joe. That's what he likes. Yeah, I mean, time will tell, but not anytime soon, at least. Not until things are more stable. No big country's gonna flip flop unless they. I could see that as a capitulation move from one of these bigger countries like France or Germany, Germany especially. Um, because Germany doesn't even have like a fucking offensive military. I don't even think they have. I don't even think they have any nuclear power. Yeah, they have us exactly. Yeah. Biden's on the news right now. I don't know if he's saying anything interesting though. I'm not listening to him. But I just saw a tweet that he's talking. He's awarding a Medal of Honor to U.S. Army soldiers who fought in the Vietnam War. You know who's been getting punished a lot this year? That's is actually kind of surprising. Is Boeing. You would think with all these issues, people would be hitting them up, but uh, they haven't been getting much love. Yeah, Lockheed's still doing pretty good. I mean, like in comparison, the whole fucking market is taking a piss this year, but comparison, like they've been doing a lot better than Boeing, that's for sure. Yeah, that's tough. I don't think they'll go anywhere like long term. He'll probably be fine, but yeah, he's gotta just fucking bite the bullet and just hold on for that. You want me to start buying some fucking futures? I'll buy some. Let me help you out, Jared. I'll get you. I'll get you up to 70 here, and after that, you're gonna have to do the rest yourself. If we get back up to 80, we're not coming back down. Doing what I can. I could, I only get you to 70, and then after that, you got My finger's getting tired. All right, I'm getting tired. Yeah. Let's see. That E high looks pretty mechanical. They're right off that C half back. So let's see if these buyers have got any juice. You can see a little bit of absorption up here too. That only 5 contracts traded on that high tick right there. Buyers are gonna need to hold it above the 60 on a retest. They've had plenty of opportunity to buy below that. So if they don't hold it above 60, that'll probably signal us back down to the 50. I've got my stop at 59 quarter here. Looking for 70. Peter say. Yeah, I'm still in. Yeah. I'm the reason we're going up. Jared, you're fucking welcome. Hey, no, Jared bought me a nice Brazilian dinner. That was fucking awesome. And those cookies, man. Everything in Vegas is just like, like it's like classy. I like it. Even when I got my car washed when I left your house. I went to that gas station right there by your house and went to that little car wash. You know what I'm talking about? And even those guys that worked there were like fucking, like they're legit. Because I had all those bugs in my car, and that dude fucking pulled out a washcloth and scrubbed them all off. I'm like, bro, gave him $20. I'm like, hell yeah. He's a young kid, like fucking, probably like 18, 19. Tattoo on his neck, so he's gonna work at that gas station for the rest of his life. So this is the only tattoo. And I'm not against getting tattoos on your neck, but set yourself up for life before you start tattooing your neck. Unfortunately, it's looked down upon. Come on. 7 contracts traded on the high. You see a little bit of profit taking right here. Here you go. All right, Jared, don't get greedy. I said I can only give you 70, so we're close. He's been sweating. He probably lost like 40 pounds since he started the day. Gotta go hydrate. Last week, one day, Jared went negative 65 grand and up 65 grand in the same day. So that's a lot of sweat. No, we're trying to break Jared's habits slowly but surely. I mean, there's improvement for sure, but it takes time. He's a, And acceptance is the first step. Well, I don't know. Nasdaq flipped back to green. The breath is only 3-1. The tick isn't really getting oversold yet, and Apple's coming up to a little bit of resistance here up at the 140 though. If we look at Amazon, look at Amazon. These Amazon calls are actually doing really well. The Amazon got above that 110 and just started to rally. That's what we were looking for. But we could keep going up. I wouldn't mind that. Get up here about 115, which is where my calls are at. I won't mind that at all. Let's get the triple Q's up too. Triple Q's back above that 280 as well, so might get some more upside. No, I was driving. I gotta catch up on so many shows, dude. I gotta watch Umbrella Academy. I gotta watch the new Stranger Things. I gotta watch the new fucking Obi-Wan episodes. I got. They're all good. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, my uncle said not Doctor Strange. Stranger Things was really good. Chosen. That's a good one, TJ. I'll have to check it out. What's it on? That's how I am, Uncle Stacy. I get on the computer and I get like distracted. I'm just like looking at markets and I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna play out. Let me start, and then I just start diving into the wormhole, and then I'm just like fucking 4 hours later, I'm like, oh shit. Markets are you gonna be on the computer all day? I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize. And then, I get on Fortnite with Jared and fucking 8 hours later, 2 a.m. Oh shit. The people that were buying the house from Jared, it's a single mom and she has two daughters. One's like a senior in high school and one is a little bit younger. And she had a gaming computer on her desk in her room. I'm like, oh, what games do you play? And she's like, Fortnite. I was like, you any good? She's like, I'm pretty good. I was like, let's see what's up. She was shit. Oh, it's the app chosen. Oh, okay. I'll download it right now. You know what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for it's called The Chosen. I'm waiting for what's it called? South Park to come back. I was just, sad that the hmm, yeah, well, those Canadians aren't doing shit up there anyway, so it's like, oh, make some episodes. I got it. Let's see what it's all about. Oops. All right, bro. Yeah, you can just mail me my fee is 10%. I'll text you my new address. Yeah, I'll hit you up later, bro. If they're gonna get back inside that Globex range, I'll be looking to repair that 4 high here. And honestly, like I said, I think if we get above, I mean, not necessarily 80, above 80, we could still come back down. If we get accepted above 80, we'll be looking to test these weak reference points from that Globex profile. And then we got the spike base all the way up 3,800. And I mean, I have a sneaky suspicion just based off of how kind of everything is lining up, um, that this 3,900. Oh, this is the last from the last time I was on the computer, but so this real quick. Um, but I have kind of a sneaky suspicion that this 3,900 is going to be looking to get tested up here. And there's our last FOMC move, 39.47. But we haven't really got much to. Going back up to that Globex low, we can expect to see some responsive sellers here, maybe trying to get back in. You said Matic was? Nice, just straight up. That's a nice setup too right there. Nice little balance area here. Comes back down, doesn't get back down to the low balance, comes back up to the mean, and then just takes off. Not a bad one. Apple's flipped to green now, so Microsoft, Tesla are really the only things red. You can see energy still getting clapped a little bit. We look at our market watch here. Starting to see a little bit more green across the board here. Healthcare is lagging a bit here. Johnson and Johnson, Lilly, UNH. The tick is still not oversold up here as price holds around this 70 level as well. 47 to 1 in favor of calls. And you can see, if you look at the advance decline line, we make this big. We can see we're still down here quite a bit, not back above that negative 800 here. So this is kind of keeping me really cautious. We're seeing the volume at least switch to positive, but not really the advances versus declines. Still seeing weakness in the overall market. It's really just getting popped up by tech. Tech is really holding us up here. And you could see here, if you look at the NASDAQ's barely down 0.3, and then we've got the S&P and the Dow about 1.5, 1.8. Bonds are still up. There's TLT. TLT's up 1.5%. TLT is inverse, so it's basically like a treasury. So if TLT goes up, typically the market goes down, and then vice versa, except for during like late 2020 and 2021, they were pretty correlated. So here we go, F period's opening up. Yeah, higher if we're going to be getting a continuation of a trend. Yeah. And that makes sense too, Uncle Stacy, because it's there's not going to be a lot of supply, at least in my opinion, um, during the summertime. Warden, hey, come here. Hey, Warden. Cujo. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to call it here. My wife ordered some food, and it's lunchtime for me now. So I'm going to go ahead and eat some lunch. I'll still be watching the market for the rest of the day. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, definitely just hit me up in the Discord. But yeah, other than that, make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. And if you don't have a trade plan, make a trade plan. And if you don't know how to make a trade plan, jump in our Discord and we will help you out. I know it's only 9 a.m., but I'm on the East Coast now, my man. Appreciate it, Adam. You too, man. Thank you. All right, you guys have a good day.